Hello, I'm Richard Edwards. Now today we are at the launch of the Dongfeng brand in New Zealand, and they're launching with one car here, the Box. This thing behind me, a very cute little electric hatchback, 42 kilowatt hour battery, seats 5, some really cool features for $29,990 as a launch price. That's really impressive. It means that the BYD Seagull didn't really have a long tenure as the kind of cheapest EV in New Zealand, and in fact this is going to be on sale and being delivered first. You can go into a Dongfeng dealership, there's 3 in New Zealand, in Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch, today and drive out with a car. So really cool thing. We're going to walk around with that. So a really interesting little car. Now I'm driving one home from the event, so in the next 48 hours I'll have a full review of the Box coming to you. But we've got some other things here that are actually a little more interesting and are coming in the first quarter of next year that we're going to take a closer look at. Right, so behind me is the Dongfeng Vigo. This is the brand's new small to medium-sized SUV, a little bit bigger than the Box, 52 kilowatt hour battery, 5 seats, and some fairly interesting charging. So with that really small battery, you'd think it wouldn't have particularly high speed charging, but they're saying 30 to 80% in 18 minutes. And we've done some research online. It's suggesting that in some situations, this thing may be able to charge at over 160 kilowatts, which for a small battery is pretty crazy. And it's a fairly striking looking thing as well, with quite a bluff front and these big kind of arrow headlights there, very aerodynamically clad wheels. Interesting design for these wing mirrors. We have electronic door handles on a car that I suspect will be in the mid to high $30,000 range. That's an interesting technology to have. A striking design around these rear taillights as well, and a really big boot. This boot is not only 500 litres of capacity, but it's also split, which means that for Saturday morning sports, you can sit there on the tailgate, or you can use the vehicle load that it has to make yourself a coffee. That is a nice touch and pretty much on its own in this class. Now, if we jump inside, we have really decent rear seat space, an entirely flat floor, a USB-C point there and a single air vent. We have a armrest, and up in the roof there, that's glass. Now just on the Vigo, there's a few little touches there, like this little picture of a big Chinese temple or something. I'm not entirely sure what it is. Just interesting, on the electric doors, you have a door release button there, and you also have a manual release button there for those people that are worried. Then if we jump into the front, we have really interesting fabrics here, vents hidden into the dash. We have, what's this, storage in there, a 50-watt ventilated wireless charger. Interestingly, the Box has one of those too. We have the steering wheel, lots of buttons there, level 2 autonomy, a 12-inch touchscreen, seems reasonably responsive. Lots of settings there as well. Now, this is a test car. It's showing 320 kilometers of range on NEDC, and I guess that's probably the big issue with these Dongfengs. At this point, they have chosen relatively small battery sizes. Interesting lighting in the door there as well. Transmission shifter up on the stick, and by the looks of that as well, the level 2 ADAS system is activated by double tapping that. Reasonable storage under the seat there. So yeah, the Vigo, that is going into a very crowded segment, and I suspect is going to be quite popular as far as Dongfengs go. It's going to be more expensive than the Box, but a lot more people like small SUVs. But there is another segment of the market they're going to, and that car is just over there. And that is this, the 007, a medium to large, fully electric sedan slash liftback, I guess you'd call it, fastback, rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options, about a 74 kilowatt hour LFP battery, and some pretty tasty power figures that I will put up on the screen now. The rear-wheel drive one does 0-100 in about 5.5 seconds, the all-wheel drive in under 4. So super impressive, and that is coming in the first quarter of next year as well. So if you look around it, I know it's not always easy to see a black car in this kind of light. Big long bonnet there, there's going to be a substantial frunk under there. We have these gorgeous alloys with red brakes under there, 360-degree cameras like all the other vehicles. Now, what are the door handles? Let's have a look. Pop out. Yeah, not the worst, a bit hard to get to. Yeah, really nice side profile there. And if we look around the back, just a really sleek sedan. Now let's try the boot. for a fastback. That is massive. I'll put the liters up on the screen. Additional storage under there. So yeah, very competitive boot in comparison to, say, the Tesla Model 3, or for that matter, the BYD Seal. Electric, of course. And we have the charging port around here. And we don't know the exact spec, but indications are potentially up to 210 kilowatt DC charging on that. Now, if we come inside, we have a very similar kind of squared off steering wheel to the other vehicles. Again, we have a ventilated wireless charger in there. Really beautiful looking sporty seats, including, I've just been pointed out, speakers in the headrest. So handy to have there. More storage and USB charging underneath there. We have a glass roof as well, and we have this screen here which looks similar to the others but maybe a bit more advanced software. Very responsive. Oh, we can fold the mirrors, touching that. Handy there. All these cars have Android Auto and CarPlay ready to go, which is nice. That's not always the case with all the Chinese brands that are coming. In the car settings, vehicle settings, assisted driving, all the usual stuff, controlled of course by the steering wheel. We have a screen in front of the driver. There's no heads-up display. It does have a driver attention monitor. Down here it says push, so I'm going to have to push this. Hang on. Cup holders. Now they do look like rather small cup holders. Plenty of space in there. A very unique and interesting key. Now I know it's wrapped in plastic, but this four-way key. Very unique. Great space, great headroom. Thanks to the glass roof. I did note one thing, it has driving modes, and the current driving mode is fight. I'm assuming that means something pretty aggressive. And the CLTC on this one was reading at 78%, 440 kilometers. All right, let's get in the back with the seat set at my level for the front. Yeah, pretty good, not bad. Certainly not an SUV, this is a fastback. But really nice quality, really nice touches. Even the back's kind of micro suede along the doors. Big pockets here. USB-C and USB-A in the back there, and a vent, but no control for the climate in the rear, which is, I think, an interesting omission in a car that really does feel quite premium. But yeah, certainly the back, it is certainly the match of the Tesla Model 3. Probably not quite as much space back here or comfort back here as a BYD Seal. So kind of somewhere in between. So that's just a really quick look at some cool cars coming to us really soon from the Dongfeng brand. It's distributed in New Zealand by the essentially the Armstrong Group. Really well known. They distribute a whole pile of other brands here as well, and they have dealerships around the country. As I mentioned, you can go check out the box today. Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch. The dongfeng.co.nz website is up and running, and we'll be back to you really soon with that box review, and hopefully next year some drives of these things. Anyway, don't forget, like and subscribe.